In the dead of night, Sabrina awoke to an eerie sound, bass pumping from afar. 21. Can you do something for me? That song, I know that song. As she lay there, an inexplicable feeling of dread washed over her, causing her heart to race. Again, 21. Can you do something for me? Now shadows danced on the walls, casting sinister shapes that seemed to have a life of their own. Suddenly, a faint whisper echoed through the darkness, sending shivers down Sabrina's spine. Sabrina, the voice seemed to say, barely audible yet unmistakable. She brushed it off as her imagination ran wild, but the dread persisted. The following nights, the whispers grew louder, and chilling encounters became more frequent, causing her malnourished body to tremble. Strange shapes took place before her, resembling the infamous rapper Drake, but his once charming smile twisted into a horrifying grin. Drake's ghostly figure stalked her every move, his eyes filled with malice. Sabrina's once bright and vibrant home became a haunting ground, filled with unexplained experiences. Doors slammed shut on their own, and objects levitated before her terrified eyes. The walls seemed to pulse with the bass, as if they were trying to keep her trapped within their suffocating pound. Feeling increasingly isolated, Sabrina confided in her friends, "Hey cat, I'm going to crap on myself if you don't hurry over here," she said, but still, they brushed off her fears as mere paranoia. No one believed her haunting encounters with the evil spirit of Drake. She felt utterly alone, as if the world had abandoned her to this terrifying nightmare. As the days passed, the haunting intensified. The whispers grew into ominous chants that echoed in her mind day and night. Sleep became impossible, and Sabrina's sanity began to fray at the edges. The boundary between reality and nightmare blurred, and she found herself trapped in a never-ending loop of terror. One night, as Sabrina cowered in a corner, the apparition of Drake emerged from the darkness, its ghastly presence suffocating her with fear. But just as the sinister figure was about to engulf her, Sabrina's eyes snapped open. She was back in her own bed, drenched in sweat. Relief washed over her as she realized it was all a dream, a haunting illusion conjured by her anxious mind. Sabrina hugged herself, grateful to be back in the safety of reality. However, the lingering sense of dread stayed with her. As Sabrina took a deep breath, trying to shake off the lingering fear, she heard a soft, eerie chuckle from the corner of her room. Her heart skipped a beat, and she turned her gaze toward the sound. There, standing in the shadows, was a figure that looked exactly like the rapper 21 Savage. But something was off about him. His eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity, and a sinister grin spread across his face. "You really thought it was all just a dream?" he whispered, his voice echoing with evil intent. Sabrina's blood ran cold as she realized that the nightmare was far from over. This wasn't Drake haunting her, it was 21 Savage, and he seemed to relish in her fear. "Why are you doing this?" she managed to stammer. The ghostly figure of 21 Savage stepped closer, the room trembling with each beat of the distant bass. "I feed on fear," he hissed, "and you, Sabrina, have served up a delicious feast." Paralyzed with terror, Sabrina watched as the walls of her room seemed to close in on her, suffocating her with the thumping bass that seemed to come from within her very soul. She desperately tried to wake up, but she was trapped in this nightmare, with 21 Savage as her tormentor. "No one can save you now," he taunted, circling her like a predator stalking its prey. "Your fear is my sustenance, and I will feast on it for eternity." At that moment, Sabrina realized the horrifying truth: this nightmare was her reality, and there was no escape. The chilling encounters, the sinister shapes, and the haunting whispers were all too real. She was trapped in a never-ending cycle of terror, forever tormented by the vengeful spirit of 21 Savage. And as the ghostly figure drew closer, ready to engulf her in darkness, Sabrina's screams were drowned out by the relentless pounding of the bass, echoing into the night, where no one could hear her cries for help.